Greetings everyone, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Ranking the Albums. Today we're going to look at the short but very, very awesome catalog of jazz fusion legends, the 11th House featuring Larry Coryell. Okay, this is a band that kind of were a little late to the game when it comes to like the greats of the fusion era. Of course, you know, Larry Coryell, excellent virtuoso guitar player, whether he's doing kind of like psychedelic stuff or more acoustic-based stuff or full-on electric fusion, even some bluesy stuff. So he was doing lots of solo albums and things during the late 60s, playing with a bunch of other notable musicians. But then, like in the early 70s, I guess he got the bug. You know, you had the Mahavishnu Orchestra, Return to Forever, Tony Williams' Lifetime Weather Report, Miles Davis. And Larry's like, hey, hold on a second. I want to be part of this whole thing. So 4 albums. 3 studio albums released back in the day. Their first album was, what, 1973, 74. Released a couple albums. That was that. And then they came back many, many, many years later before Larry Coryell passed. And that's probably going to be it for them. So going to dive into this in a second. I do want a quick little announcement because I see like strange comments all over the place. Guys, one thing you got to understand. All right, if you've been following this channel for a long time or a short time, Sea of Tranquility covers many genres. All right? Jazz fusion, all forms of progressive rock, all forms of heavy metal, all forms of hard rock, and some classic rock. Okay, we may occasionally dip into pop and things like that, but that's the stuff we cover. I'm getting lots of comments from people, from prog fans who don't like metal, who complain we do too much metal. I get the same comments from the metal people who say we do too much old classic rock and prog stuff. Guys, I'm pumping out multiple videos a day. You guys easily get 10 videos a week, if not more than that, from me during normal times, right? I give ample attention to all these genres. If you don't like the metal stuff, don't watch the metal videos. There's plenty of prog and classic rock and hard rock stuff coming. If you don't like the prog stuff and you're waiting for the metal, there's plenty of metal. I'm doing a little bit of everything. So if you don't like certain styles of music, don't watch the videos. All right? It's like I'm not a jukebox that you put a quarter in and out comes, you know, whatever it is you want. It doesn't work that way. Okay? I'm covering bands that I like. If you have no patience for the obscure stuff, what can I tell you? I can't do every single video on Van Halen, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. I just can't do it. There's a million other bands out there. I like tons of bands. If I like them, I'm going to cover them. All right? It's the way it is. So, you know, guys, stop complaining. If you don't like the metal stuff, don't watch the metal videos. If you don't like the prog stuff, don't watch the prog videos. You're going to get more of the stuff that you like. All right, we have tons of videos on this channel. Go back and watch the playlist. We've got 6 years worth of videos here. Some of you constantly, every day, Pete, are you ever going to do a video on this band? Look at the playlist. I did it 2 years ago. I did it 6 months ago. I did it last week. Please, guys, come on. It's like you're not gonna like every single video that every channel pumps out. It's just not realistic. It's not realistic. All right. And for those of you who don't like prog, you don't like metal, what are you doing here? All right? What are you doing here? I don't cover punk. I don't cover new wave. I generally don't do pop music. All right? So it's what we cover on this channel. Back to the topic at hand. All right. So number 4 is going to be their 2017 kind of reunion album called 7 Secrets. All right. So this came out not long before Mr. Coryell passed away. So this brings back classic members Larry Coryell on guitar, Michael Brecker on horns, Alphonse Mouzon, the great Alphonse Mouzon on drums, okay, as well as, oh geez, I'm forgetting his name. Hold on a second. Mr. Lee, what is his first name? John Lee, okay, on all sorts of basses, as well as Julian Coryell, who is Larry's son, on second guitar, rather than having keyboards. So there's no keyboards on this album. Kind of a more laid-back album, but there's still plenty of fire. I mean, you know, these guys were all a lot older, obviously, when they did this 3 years ago. I think Mouzon sounds great on here. He's in top form throughout. Brecker sounds fantastic, as always. You know, Coryell still showing the chops. This guy was a great guitar player. He's much missed. The title track is absolutely killer. You got a song called Mr. Miyake, which is rocks kind of hard, all right, for a fusion album. Then you got Dragon's Way, which has some, cool melodies, lots of tight soloing. Mouzon just pounding away underneath it all. Brecker's got his bleating horns, soaring all over the place. The dip is kind of tasty, melodic, funk and fusion. Very indicative of some of the more modern fusion stuff. Overall, a fun album. A lot of tracks on here. Got 11 tracks on here. Most of them pretty lengthy. Not as groundbreaking and impressive as some of their early albums, but the fact that we got one last 11th House album, I think, is a pretty good thing. So like I said, overall, good album, enjoyable, fun. Not as mind-blowing as the early stuff, but was it ever going to be? Probably not. So that's number 4. Number 3, we're going to go to 1976's Aspect, or Aspects, I should say. Okay. So this is their third album. It's their second for Arista Records. They went from Vanguard to Arista Records for the second and third album. You got Jerry Brown replacing Alphonse Mouzon for this particular album. You got Terumasa Hino replacing, what was his name? Mr. Lawrence. Hold on a second. What was his first name? Michael Lawrence, okay? So originally this band had Mike Mandel on keyboards. So you got Hino replacing Lawrence. Got a song that kicks off things, Kowloon Jag. Furious fusion, lots of area electric piano, Fender Rhodes, I'm guessing. Coryell Savage soloing, and then you got a blazing synth solo from Mr. Hino on this before the band kind of all comes back in for this tremendous climax. Amazing track. You got Ain't It Is, pure funk, lots of great horns, electric piano, the title track. Also, lots of funky overtones going there with some complex arrangements, lots of intricate rhythms. Titus also has like tons of groove. I mean, this band always had a lot of groove anyway. Some crisp guitar licks from Coryell. You got Pyramids, which shows off, they always kind of have this kind of like New York City 70s jazz thing going on, right? There's like a New York City feel. If you follow fusion a lot and you listen to some of the artists from New York City, just like from LA and all this kind of stuff, there's like a certain feel that New York City acts have, right? And you hear that a lot in this band. A lot of funk going on. Strong album, not quite as much of the wow factor as the first two, but still pretty damn good. I like it a lot. So that's coming in number 3. Now, the top 2, could flip-flop back and forth at any given time. I'm going to go for today with their first album from 1974, Introducing the 11th House with Larry Coryell. This is on the Vanguard Records label. You can tell that their albums always have these this kind of look and artwork and the colors. Stellar debut. Really stellar. It starts over with this track called Bird Fingers, which is absolutely incredible. You got Coryell battling it out with Mike Mandel's electric piano. You got Randy Brecker's trumpet. Mouzon blasting away underneath. Man, what a powerhouse song to open up the album. It's like, wow is all you can say, right? Then you got Lolita, okay, spelled L-O-W-L-E-E-T-A-H. Yeah, Tala loves it too. Sal, you got to hang on. More of an atmospheric piece. You got Brecker's yearning horn drifting over kind of like Mahavishnu style dreamy arrangements. You got Adam Smasher is more of a is more of a kind of like a funky fusion track. All right, Mandel's Rhodes again. Really, really impressing. Danny Trifon, he's their first bass player. His bass is pumping away alongside Mouzon before Brecker comes in, with somewhat bluesy, tasty soloing. Really, really good. Yin is classic 70s fusion bombast, not far removed from the Miles Davis group, like Circus say, Bitches Brew, Jack Johnson, got big, fat riffs, squonking horns, lots of blazing lead guitar, manic drums, the airy electric piano, very indicative of the period. You got Ism Ejercicio, okay? Another blast of funky fusion with Mouzon just absolutely putting on a clinic. And then you got Right On Y'all, which is another fantastic song. Tremendous, tremendous debut that at any other time would be my number 1. However, I'm going to go with their second album from 75, Level 1. Again, like I said, a little bit of a different lineup here. First for Arista Records, you got Michael Lawrence replacing Randy Brecker. John Lee is on bass here. Okay, you got the, so I got that kind of, yeah, did I get the, I want to make sure I got all the names. Well, whatever, I might have screwed up some names going on here in a couple of the other albums. Anyway, so Michael Lawrence is on horns and things, so trumpet, flugelhorn, right? Title track. Really atmospheric, dreamy fusion. Again, not much different from classic Mahavishnu. They're at their mellowest, right? Killer Coryell soloing, busy rhythms, spacey electric piano. You got the other side, which, you know, brings lots of funk and again has that New York City vibe to it that I talked about before. Great flugelhorn from Lawrence. You got Deirdre, more laid back, bluesy jazz with some cool synths. A gutsy Coryell solo on this one. You got the 3-part suite, which is pretty neat. Has some blazing acoustic electric guitars from Coryell. All right, and some quirky kind of complex arrangements going on there, including another soaring flugelhorn solo from Mr. Lawrence. That's the Joint is the one that you need to pay attention to here. Boy, she's being annoying today. That's the Joint. It's got grooves for miles, but it's kind of heavy for a fusion. It's like one of those barn-burning fusion tracks. Think of like the more rockin' Return to Forever Mahavishnu stuff. It's got some absolutely blistering, rampaging guitar from Coryell. Soloing all over the place. Just absolutely monster playing on this particular track. It's called That's the Joint. Strutting with Sunshine also has some really cool funk and rock firepower. You got some greasy stuff. Again, very, very funky. Horns up front and center. Rhythm section just working overtime. Nasty guitar licks. Mouzon just absolutely going berserk like she's doing right now. She's being really bad. She's being really bad. Nyctophobia, which I believe is the last song on the album. Actually, no, it's right in the middle. Sorry. Serious groove. Man, the rhythm section just absolutely going nuts here. The guitars, the horns, and the keys all laying down some mean licks. Just an amazing, amazing fusion album. Amazing fusion album. That I think, you know, as great as the debut is, this is just even better, in my opinion. But you can't go wrong with either or. If you're going to get two of them, get these two immediately. Immediately. Get the third one, too. The one from 2017 is fun. It's good. But the 70s albums are just absolutely incredible. So, and these are Wounded Bird reissue. Good luck finding it. But I know these were kind of hard to track down for a while. But they may be a little more available. So, there we go. The 11th House featuring Larry Coryell. Tala loves them. Trust me, Tala loves them. Coming in at number 1, Level 1 from 75. Number 2, Introducing the 11th House with Larry Coryell. Number 2 at 1974. Number 3 is going to be Aspects from 76, and number 4, Seven Secrets from 2017. So there you have it. One of the mandatory fusion bands of the 70s that, you know, if you really only know fusion as Return to Forever, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Weather Reports, maybe Brand X, maybe Tony Williams' Lifetime, maybe Little Miles Davis, don't forget about these guys. Do not forget about these guys. Amazing, amazing stuff that I have been trying to recommend to people for decades, and amazing. Okay, and you know, I got a bunch of these guys are no longer with us, which is really sad, but check out the music. It'll live forever. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. If you like what you see here, please hit us up on Ko-Fi and help us out. Go over to our merch page as well and order up a t-shirt or a hat or whatever you like. Visit our website as well. All the links are down in the video description below, so you can check all that stuff out. We'll see you guys shortly for a little album ranking of Y&T. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.